And what will you be checking out today, sir? Oh, sweetie, you deserve better.
Ah! Is this good?
No, but it's less concerning than your original choice.
Frittata!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fratanga Plays. As you can tell, I am no longer in my little tiny ass room. You're thinking to yourself, is this a GameStop? Yes, it's a GameStop. I got myself a job here. Why? Well, because I owe a lot of money.
Mexican, get those kids out of here and you get out of here! You go back to Mexico!
But also, mainly because I want to get back at Nintendo fanboys by selling them crap. Because Lord knows that they're going to buy every single bit of it. Anyway, like, comment, share, and subscribe. On the road to 110,000 subs. When we get to 110,000 subs, I will play you La Cucaracha live on camera on a guitar. I can't believe I'm still fucking promising such a stupid ass thing, but, well, you guys have gotten me far. So, if my humiliation means anything to you, hit subscribe, and let's begin. When it comes to cease and desists, nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, beats Nintendo at that.
Having fun with off limits in Mister's house.
Nigga, did I just catch you having fun?
They are the most protective of their IPs, as we've seen before. And I'm not really sure why. They sit on those IPs for all of eternity, never planning to once ever re-release them at a reasonable price. Instead, they opt for adding them to their shitty subscription service that runs like ass and has such a limited selection and is incomparable to the virtual console that they had years ago. But that's never stopped Nintendo fanboys, because in spite of the fact that Nintendo removed everything you owned at one point off your digital library, they're gonna go back and buy it all over again.
We'll take 20.
Now, some of you may be thinking to yourselves, well, Frit, you know, if it's Nintendo's intellectual property and they don't want you to own it, or they don't want to sell it back to you again, that's in their rights. Look, I'm not gonna even bother to argue this autism with you. If you've made up your mind that it's okay and perfectly fine for Nintendo to do that, then I'm not gonna be able to change your mind. However, perhaps I could change your mind on Nintendo's other cease and desist behaviors that are just too far. I mean, I'm surprised that people to this day still think Nintendo's in the right on some of these. Whether it be fan games that they completely removed, like another Return of Samus remake, that they shut down and then conveniently publish their own official remake of the game, even though the fan game was never encroaching on anything. That's just the type of company Nintendo is. They have no appreciation for their audience, and they treat fan games like legal threats. So you can be a Nintendo fan, you just can't be too big of a Nintendo fan. And they love to bully people who want to express how much they enjoy Nintendo, which is just insane. No other company does it harsher than they do. And this isn't even up for debate. So, user Moosh on Twitter. Yeah, this guy right here, as you can see. You may be wondering, who is he? What does he do? Did he piss off Nintendo? Yes, he did. Which is all we're here for, of course. Now, if we go over to his Patreon, we can see that he's been hit with the cease and desist from Nintendo. Why, you may be asking? Well, it turns out he put Balatro into Smash Bros. Melee. Yeah, that's right. Smash Bros. Melee. Smash Bros. Melee. Not Ultimate, but Melee. The 20-plus-year-old game at this point. How dare he? What a piece of shit. How dare he? Who the hell do you think you are, good sir, to be modding our ancient-ass games that we don't sell anymore? Yeah, well, he put Balatro into Melee. Now, here's the problem, because it's not really that simple. You see, this guy was paywalling mods on his Patreon. Now, when it comes to paywalling mods, that is a legally gray area. Actually, it's not even legally gray. Not only is it kind of ethically scummy, but you are also trying to make money off of Nintendo's intellectual property, Smash Bros. So, in this case, the cease and desist for paywalling mods on their, well, 20-plus-year-old game that they don't even bother to touch anymore is the reason he received that letter from Nintendo. I know what a lot of you are thinking. Well, Frit, I mean, come on, 20 plus years old, why do they care? I could ask the same thing. I don't know why Nintendo wastes their time on random Patreon users like this. But legally, the man set himself up. And the Nintendo fan base was fucking furious. They came after him like the hammer of Thor, reporting to Nintendo at America, tagging them, which is more than likely how he even got the cease and desist letter, or how Nintendo even caught wind of it. As you can see here, apologies for going missing in action for a bit there. The response to my Jimbo mod was overwhelming. I needed to step away and take a small break from the internet and let things cool down, as this is something I never expected. I'm sure whenever anyone starts an entrepreneurial adventure, they want to be seen and have things grow, as I certainly had hoped with this Patreon, but I never expected things to blow up so fast and wasn't prepared for it. However, of course, I'm glad you all like my mod. I think it goes without saying, but I muted my showcase tweet a while ago, so any comments, likes, retweets, etc. will go unnoticed. But again, I appreciate the recognition and traction it got. Furthermore, I received a lot of support on the tweet personally and in DMs, and I truly appreciate everyone that reached out before I limited my DMs to give support and all the encouraging things you had to say. There is a lot, but I will take the time to respond to everyone. Thank you again. Well, it seems he learned his lesson, because after this, he made mods free, which, you know, mods should always be free, especially when it comes to you making mods for somebody else's intellectual property. That didn't last long though, however, because as soon as he got that Nintendo cease and desist, rather than cowering away and saying he's gonna give up and never make mods again, this man did the unthinkable. I put my cease and desist letter from Nintendo into Melee. See how much court fines you can stack up against your opponents with this new skin over copyrighted character. Get it at your nearest courthouse. Linked below. Lawsuit compatible. Oh my god. How could you not love this? How could you hate this? This is amazing. This man said, fuck you, Nintendo. I'm taking your cease and desist, and I'm putting it in the game. Let's watch that trailer.
You should kill yourself.
Oh, beautiful. Absolute art. What a legend. Well, I mean, I'm not cool with him paywalling mods, to be honest. That was kind of scummy, but how can you not respect someone telling Nintendo, fuck you, I don't care how much money you got, I'm still going to fuck with you. Now, of course, comes the best part, and that is all the Nintendo fanboys who were absolutely pissed off that he dared to challenge Nintendo and fuck with them. No, we can't have that. Don't you understand how hard Nintendo worked for their money?
You can't hurt my feelings if I'm in on the joke. Mod.
These guys want him to suffer. They want him to feel pain. They don't want him to rejoice or make a mockery of his situation. They want him to take it very, very serious. As serious as Nintendo takes it. How can he find it funny? What a piece of shit. It amazes me. The quote-unquote good Samaritans of the Nintendo community always looking out for precious Nintendo as if they need it.
Really annoying. This guy tried to set up shop in a community with a long history of sharing their efforts openly, and suddenly is like, what the heck, do artists not deserve compensation? They do, dude! This is just absolute worst place to make that point.
I mean, he's not wrong. Trying to make any single point on Twitter is a fruitless endeavor. I don't know why anybody even tries it. Personally, I would have taken the L from Nintendo because I don't have the financial means to battle Nintendo. But this guy, he doesn't seem scared at all, in spite of everybody else's concerns.
Paywall's a mod on Patreon. Gets a cease and desist from Nintendo. Paywall's a joke mod on Patreon. What happens next is too predictable.
You know, if anything even happens at all, I'll genuinely be surprised. At most, I could see his Patreon page being pulled, and that's about it. And there's also people claiming that there was no cease and desist, that this man was just making a joke. That cease and desist letter never happened, according to some, but the Nintendo fans were already celebrating.
So this guy gets a cease and desist letter from Nintendo for selling Nintendo assets on his Patreon. He then proceeds to make a bare-bones mod with said cease and desist letter and sell it again on his Patreon at Nintendo of America.
He tags Nintendo of America? These guys are pathetic. Oh my god. These guys look out for Nintendo more than they look out for the well-being of their own children. Bro, the comment section is so stupid. Is it paid? No, you idiot. Just click the fucking link. In fact, they even made a Patreon announcement that they aren't doing paid mods anymore. Paid is just for early access now. This one is completely free though. Twitter people can't read. Well, I'm amazed how many Nintendo fans took personal offense that this man even modded a cease and desist letter, as if nobody is allowed to joke about Nintendo being trigger happy about cease and desist. I mean, is nobody allowed to just laugh about things anymore? Because this is the funniest shit I've seen all week. So many were hoping that he would be taken to court over this. Apparently, Nintendo also already has a case against this guy, and he's just taunting them even more. I don't know how much of it is true. This guy does seem like he's just goading a bunch of Nintendo fanboys, and they're taking the bait. And I'm just over here having the time of my life, because seeing someone with a sense of humor is something that Nintendo guys just lack. They take themselves and the company so fucking serious, it's pathetic.
Bro, you are going to prison.
Oh my god. Oh, this is pathetic. No, he's not going to prison. You gotta love it though. Mockery of precious Nintendo got these Nintendo guys to seriously cross their fingers and hope this guy gets jailed over a mod for a 20-plus-year-old game that Nintendo will never see a dime from ever again. I love it though. We need more people like this. Not only do they complete my day, but they complete the cycle of bullying the worst gaming company on the planet. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.
Free Congo sucks ass.